Today I want to talk to you about this device. This is called an OBD II reader. It's manufactured by BAFX products. This device is designed to read error codes and diagnostic information from the engine in your vehicle. It has a port which will plug into a port underneath the dash in your vehicle. And this will work with any vehicle manufactured in America since 1996. I paid $20 for this on Amazon. It had, out of 20,000 reviews, it had 4.7 star rating. You can also get different versions of an OBD II reader. This is the V-Peak version, which I was never able to get to work. I tried it with several different vehicles and had no success at all. So Amazon actually refunded my money and told me to keep it or throw it away. They didn't want it back. This device had the best ratings. It was in the top 100 products on Amazon, and I recommend if you're going to buy one of these, go ahead and spend a little bit of extra money and get a decent one. The way this works is you plug it into the dash in your car, and it makes a Bluetooth connection with your phone. And you see on my phone, I'm using the Torque app. Torque is, I've used probably 10 different apps with this device. Torque is what I've had the best success with. The Torque app lets you read information from the device over the Bluetooth link. You can read fault codes, you can read acceleration information, fuel mileage information, emissions information from some vehicles. The main thing I use it for is the fault codes. I'm going to show you in just a few minutes how this works, but it's very simple. Look, if you have the ability to actually open a web browser and purchase this device on Amazon, then you have the ability, you don't need any technical skills. You have the ability to use it and make it work. My truck started using a lot of gas, and I never could figure out why. That was before I had this OBD II reader. Anyhow, I took the vehicle to a mechanic shop and I said, hey, you guys, can you figure out what's wrong with it? They diagnosed it. They said you need a mass airflow sensor. They wanted $990 to replace the mass airflow sensor, which is this thing right here. And you can install this with a Phillips head screwdriver. It takes literally 5 minutes to install. I bought this at AutoZone. This is a Duralast brand mass airflow sensor. And it cost $75 at AutoZone. After the mechanic diagnosed it and told me they wanted $990, by that time I had this. So I plugged it up in my truck and I looked at the fault code with the Torque app. And the Torque app told me the fault code was a P0101, which means mass airflow sensor. So I paid the mechanic shop to do the diagnostic, which again was about $85. And I went to AutoZone and bought it myself, and I'm going to put this on in just a few minutes. So what I'm going to do now is take this OBD II reader and I'm going to plug it into the port in my truck, and I'm going to show you the error code that says the mass airflow sensor is bad, and I'm going to also show you how to use the Torque app. And you know, given the price, this is only $20. I think everybody should buy one and keep it in your glove compartment in your vehicle. This is very simple to use. Like I said, you don't need any technical skills, and this thing could really save you a lot of money. So let's go over to the truck now, let's plug it up, and I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so let's see how this thing works. So this OBD II module plugs in to this port right there. Sometimes on some vehicles it'll be on the other side. On my truck it's on this side. And you can only plug this thing in one way. There's no way to get it on backwards. So when you plug it up, a red light comes on. Now this device gets its power from the vehicle's battery. Okay, there's no battery built into this. So when you plug it up, it makes a connection to your computer after you crank the engine. So you plug it up first, and then let's crank up the engine. The way you use Torque is, first off, you have to have your location and your Bluetooth turned on in your device. All right, then you open the Torque app, and that's what it looks like. And as you can see, it's making a connection. That's what all this stuff up here means, that it's making a connection to the device. Now once it makes a connection, you'll notice your device starts flashing different colored lights. It's doing stuff. So let's take a look at what you can do. You can pull up your real-time information screen here, and it's got all these different gauges that tell you stuff about your vehicle. It takes a minute or two to connect, but when it does, all the gauges will come to life. Okay, so when you make a connection to your device through Bluetooth, and it's fairly easy, all you have to do is pair it just like you do a set of headphones. You'll notice that as I rev the engine, some of the gauges move on here. It actually shows you your coolant temperature, your vacuum throttles, your speed, your revolutions, which is RPM, your acceleration. Here's the thing I want to use it for. This has an option to read fault codes. So this is my truck we're in. So I'm going to do a search. This is reading the codes, and then you can see it tells me right there that mass or volume airflow current range performance problem. That's the mass airflow sensor. So if you click on it, right there it says close or do a web lookup, and there's the fault code P0101. If you do a web lookup, it pulls up a website, troublecodes.net, and it tells you exactly what's wrong. And there's even some videos on here which explain to you why it found the problem and what you can do about it. Okay, so I want to do a quick demonstration of what the torque app will show you. What I've done is set up the torque app so that it graphs my RPMs in the engine, and I'm going to drive for a moment and let you take a look at that. Don't worry, I'm not taking my eyes off the road. Here's the unit that AutoZone has. It's free to use. You plug it up to your engine right there. Sometimes you gotta jiggle it a little bit. There, I had to jiggle it and then it came on. So now we're gonna crank the engine. Watch it for a second. It's reading your OBD II system in your engine. When it says done, it's read the error code, so then you carry it back into AutoZone. They'll tell you exactly what the code says. Completely free. Okay, to replace the mass airflow sensor, you only need a pair of pliers and a screwdriver. So we have to take this hose right here off the water tank and move it back out of the way, and then we're going to have to take the top off the air filter compartment so that we can get this out. So let's do that. The whole thing shouldn't take more than about 10-15 minutes at most. I think pulling this hose off is probably the hardest part of the job. Whoa, almost dropped the camera there. All right, let's tuck this over here out of the way. All right. Okay, so let's pick that up. And now we have two cable clamps here. One there and one there. We have to loosen them up. Here we go. All right, so pull that out of the way. All right, there it is, it's out. So we have this cable we have to pull off. Sometimes these cables are really difficult to get loose. There we go. Okay, there's the old mass airflow sensor. So now I'm going to get the new one and put it on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have the new sensor. It's identical to the old sensor, except it's a lot cleaner. Now, also on this old sensor, there's a plastic piece, a rubber piece that has to come off. So you have to have that rubber piece. All right, so. All right, I've got to crank the truck up. We're going to put the OBD sensor back on, and we're going to try it out and see if that error code goes away. Okay, so now that the sensor's on, let's go plug the error code reader up and check it out. All right, so let's see. This guy goes right there. Red light's on, that means it has power. There we go, crank the truck. All right, now I'll get the phone. And first thing, make sure Bluetooth and location are on, which they are. All right, go pull up torque, the torque app that I use for this. Go to adapter status. All the green checks means that we have a good connection. All right. Then go over here to see how those go around in a circle. That's pretty cool. Go over to fault codes. Hit the magnifying glass. Look for fault codes. And it looks like the fault's gone because last time it was right up here at the top. It popped up immediately. I've noticed, I've watched other videos where other people have used this and they said that you had to clear the fault codes. On mine, I did not have to clear it, but I had rebooted my phone, so I don't know if rebooting the phone clears the fault codes out of the local memory cache or how that works. Anyhow, it's it read it, got up to 100% and no faults. So, looks good. I think that fixed the problem. So, let's rev the engine, make sure this is reading on all the valves. Yep, looks good. And the engine sounds better too. So I'm gonna make a loop around the block and see how it sounds and how the engine performs, and I'll be right back. Okay, the engine performed pretty good. I'm happy with it. I'm really happy with the torque cap. Torque cap works great. The mechanic shop wanted $990 to do it. I replaced it myself. It took about 15 minutes. If you include the time where I dropped the screwdriver in the engine and I had to fish it out, which took about 5 minutes, then it was altogether about 15 minutes. So I hope this video helped you out some. I think the OBD II module could really save you some money if you give it a try. And for only $20, you can't go wrong. You know, if you get it and you decide you don't need it, then give it to a friend. Somebody can always use it. Some of my neighbors, they've been my guinea pigs testing this thing, and a couple of them, since they found out I had it, now they've called me to come look at their vehicles and tell them what's wrong with their vehicles. So anyhow, it's a good buy. So I hope this video did you some good. See you next time.